To find a total, given a percent, use the percent equation to find the part. Then add the part to the whole.
So sales tax on an item is a percent of the item's price. Find the total price by adding the sales tax to the item's price. So in step 1, we're using our percent equation, where we have part equals percent times whole. We need to find the amount, or the tax amount. So that's our part, and so we're going to use that equation. When we find that, then we move to step 2, and we end up with the sales tax now being added to the initial price to find the total cost. Think of this when you go to the Dollar Tree and you buy that item that's $1, you know that you're going to need more than $1, and that's what that is. So we know the cost is $1. We know the sales tax, to make life easy, is 7%. So when we times those, we end up with 7 cents. So we add 7 cents to our dollar, and that gives our total cost of $1.07. Make sure you get this in your notes. So go ahead and pause. Okay, so we're going to look at the other one using subtraction.
To find a remainder, given a percent, use the percent equation to find the part. Then subtract the part from the whole. Some companies give salespeople a commission or a percentage of the selling price of each item they sell. Find the amount of money the company earns on the item by subtracting the commission from the selling price.
Okay, so what we see is we still use the same equation. We're still doing the part equals percent times whole. That's still our percent equation. And we're trying to find out how much that person's going to make. So we know the selling price. We know what the percent is that they're going to make on that item. So we multiply that to find the part that they're going to be paid, which is called their commission. So then we take the selling price, how much did that item initially cost, subtract the commission, and we now know the base price. Okay, so these are two equations that we're going to be using a lot, so please make sure that you're writing this one down as well. This one is when you need to subtract.
Panthers Soccer Club party of 15? Oh boy, this is going to be fun.
A soccer team is having dinner at a restaurant to celebrate their winning season. The frazzled waiter gives them an incomplete bill. Help the team fill in the missing amounts.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, think of the K and P. What do you need? What do you know? What do we need to find out? And how are we going to do that? What is our plan? So we know the total, the subtotal, right? We know what all the food together came to. It came to 142. We know that this tax is 5%. What do we need to find out? The total with tax. So what is our plan? That's correct. It was that two-step plan. It was going to be the addition, where we find, using the percent equation, the subtotal times 5% is going to give us the tax amount. And then we have to go to that second step where we take the tax amount and add it to the subtotal so we can find the final total. So go ahead and try that at this point, pausing the video. Okay, so here's the answer. We see that $142 is what they decided the subtotal was. 5% is the tax rate. So when they did the multiplication, and they're showing here as a fraction, remember we also talked about how in your calculator you can set that up as 0.05. So either way, this the same thing. When you multiply that, you're going to get 710 over 100, or 7.1 in your calculator, which we know is going to be $7.10. So the final total of our bill, when we add the $7.10 to the subtotal of 142, comes to $149.10.
You could get any of these cars here. You could, but don't you want this one? Don't you want this sound system? These leather seats? These rims? Isn't paying a little extra now for all that enjoyment later worth it? If you ask me, I say you belong in this car right here. If you ask me, you are worth it.
At a car dealership, a car salesman is trying to sell a car to his client. His commission rate is 6%. Part A. How much would the car salesman earn on each car? Part B. How much would the car dealership make on each car?
Why do you think the salesman is encouraging his customer to buy a more expensive car? It could be that the car is the highest quality car, or that the car is exactly what the customer wants. But maybe it's about how much commission he would make on the sale. That's a tricky one. Now, if you want to take a look at this car over here, I'll get you the real deal.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you're needing to find out for each one of these cars how much is the salesman going to earn, and then how much will the dealership make. So you're going to go back to your subtraction equation where you have the two-step process. The first step, and where you find out how much the commission amount will be, is going to answer A. And B, what part are you going to use? The subtraction part of that, right? Where you have the total and then you're going to subtract the commission amount to find out that base, and that would be what the car dealership makes. So pause the video and try. Looking here, we can see that for car 1, if we're looking at the commission for the car, the sales is 6% times times the car amount, $16,800. So that car salesman is going to make $1,008. On car 2, the rate still 6% commission on $25,400, and he's going to make a commission of $1,524. On car 3, we see a 6% commission still, a $33,000 car. $1,980 is the amount of money the salesman would make. So why do you think the salesman is trying to sell car 3 over car 1? Okay, so if that's what he's making, now we need to take what he makes and subtract it from each car. So let's see, what is the car the dealership is going to make? So the initial car price minus the commission equals the base price. So the car dealership is going to make $15,792. You can see for car 2, again, the original selling price minus the commission gives the base price, the amount the dealership makes. Again, the selling price minus commission equals the base that the dealership is going to make. So in this case, the dealership makes $31,020. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, this was a quick walkthrough for 3-2. If you're needing more, please go into digits under practice and try that, as well as check for videos on Schoology. Thank you.